Good day and welcome to another episode of Regional Review. I'm Kenya Kambowe, the Namibia Media Holdings correspondent in the Northeastern regions. On today's show, we'll be giving you highlights of events that unfolded in the Northeastern regions over the past week. Meanwhile, in history, today is World Blood Donor Day, so check out the next video. Not much has been happening in the northeastern regions over the past week, apart from the two dominating events, which was the Kavango East State of the Region Address, which was delivered by Honorable Wakudumo last week Wednesday, while the Kavango West Governor Sirka Osigo delivered her State of the Region Address last week Friday. Both governors accounted for what or how resources were appropriated to their respective constituencies, what has been done, how many balls were drilled, how the education sector was uplifted, the issue of youth unemployment, as well as some of the key developmental projects which they said some which some were completed while some still remain idle despite numerous years of waiting by the residents to benefit from them. So to get a analysis of what transpired, or having followed the addresses, we spoke to APP Secretary General Mr. Vincent Kanyetu, who shared his insight as to what he really thought of the State of the Region Address, and this is what he had to say.
We are very much disappointed. We are very, very much disappointed in the sense that when you look at the addresses itself, let's start with Kavango East, for example. Kavango East governor's statement reported on a number of things that he said that was done within the constituency to bring about development. But it's disappointing to say that, truly, to build 5 toilets in a constituency that is more than 10,000 inhabitants, what difference does it make to build 5 toilets, for example? Very little was said about what is the way going forward on how to create about employment, for example, women empowerment, reduce crime and corruption within the Kavango East region. Nothing little. Meaning that our regional government, the regional leadership, we are hopeless to say. We are hopeless because all the councillors, including the governors themselves, doesn't have a clear direction as to where exactly do they want to take the people. They are just like crybabies, for example. Crybabies to say, no, we are calling upon government to do this, we are calling upon government to do this, instead of them coming out and tell the public that, okay, with these challenges, for example, with a birth certificate and national document, what is it that the region has done together with the Home Affairs Ministry? They have the power. They have the power to speak to the line ministries and say, okay, our people are facing challenges, more particularly in Rundu, for example. Rundu is a heavily populated town in Namibia, but majority of the people are suffering because they don't have national documents. They don't have any documents at their disposal, while government has programmed to provide social grants and the old age pension. There's nothing mentioned as what efforts are done. And looking at Kavango West, for example, we heard about this vocational training center. The groundbreaking ceremony was done over the years ago. But up to now, a governor is crying in front of camera, saying that they are disappointed to hear that it's going to be re-advertised. What is your office doing? What is your office done? What are the regional councillors are doing? What is the regional?
Our second story emanates from the Kambowe East State of the Region address as delivered by Honorable Boniface Wakodumo. He singled out Recon Africa as a company that has been doing much in terms of humanitarian assistance in the Kambowe East region, which he indicated that the people of Kambowe are indebted to Recon Africa. However, there's been mixed feelings from those who follow the story on social media and all the NMH platforms. However, Wakodumo cited some of the key points at which Recon Africa has assisted the communities in which they are operating, such as the drilling of boreholes, sending of 5 students to various tertiary institutions, the financial assistance to the COVID relief program, whereby they gave around 7.5 million to assist in getting people vaccinated in the Kambowe East region. So that is basically what Wakodumo indicated, to say that no, based on this humanitarian assistance by Recon Africa, Kambowe people are indebted to Recon Africa for their generous assistance towards the communities. However, he's making these sentiments at a time whereby there are still some environmentalists from local international institutions, organizations that are calling on Recon Africa to stop in their tracks in regards to these oil and gas exploration activities that they are conducting. They are citing that they might pollute underground water, and seeing that the oil exploration activities are taking nearby the Kambowe Delta, they're also citing that this might disrupt the ecosystem in this environment. So therefore, they are calling for Recon Africa to be stopped in their tracks. However, government, as you all know, has the last say, and government has already assured the public that whatever Recon Africa is doing, they are being monitored with a eagle's eye, and they won't be allowed to do something like which is regarded as fracking. Fracking is now the unconventional method of drilling for oil and all that. So this is one of the reasons why most of these environmentalist companies are against Recon Africa, because they are afraid that they might do some kind of fracking. However, Recon, as well as government, has assured that there will be no fracking. Mr. Matherius, thank you very much for your time. We just want to engage you on one important aspect in terms of the education fraternity. As you might be aware, as an educator yourself, it's the holiday for learners and teachers. So I just want your message to the boy and girl child. What do you think should preoccupy them during this time of rest, and what shouldn't they do?
Yeah, well, thank you very much. Holidays are good moments for everybody, but now to the children, learners, it is now the time to go and assist their parents rather than wasting this special time on something useless. For instance, they must not involve themselves in activities like alcohol, drug abuse, and other activities. You know, in the region, this is one of the regions that is statistically a girl child is the pregnancy statistic is very high. So it is a high time that they go and assist in the field and get rest. When they come back, they are well prepared and continue where they stopped.
regards to the boy child?
It is also a responsibility of a boy child in order to reorganize themselves. Where they did not do well during the very first trimester, they must come back strong, go home, assist with taking care of their parents, goats, cattle, and other activities that's supposed to be done. Not necessarily to waste time here in town, because in town is not a good place for learners. It is better for them to go out at farms, the villages, so that they can relax. They do activities that can empower them. Read more, prepare.
Talking about the town, like Rondo is not a good time for a good place during the holidays for a child. Are you saying that the lack of recreational facilities is one of the contributing factors because the child doesn't have anywhere to go and socialize?
Mr. Kenya, look, learners or children need their space, yeah, to do their activities. Now, if you look around Rundu, there is no area, there is no space prepared for young kids, for children, or for learners educationally, or either even for leisure time. So it's not the best place to be so far, unless something is done, but that will now take time. If we could not do it in 30 years, so it is just not the best place for learners, because it is preoccupied with a lot of activities like drinking, clapping, so to say, rape, you also know. Yeah, it is just not the best place to be with, especially learners.
Okay, tell me, are parents doing enough? This is based on your first argument of saying that this Kavango East and Kavango West are statistically known as where high teenage pregnancy is recorded each year. So, what are you saying in terms of parent involvement? Are they doing enough to ensure that our girl and the boy child is safe? Yeah.
I must applaud some few parents who are doing their best in taking care of their kids, trying to assist in the upbringing of their kids, prepare them very well. Many times, many parents seems to get lost. Yeah, the parents are out there doing something that does not even contribute to their children's future or education. Many parents are not supportive enough. You find small kids roaming around, selling liquor, selling, cigarettes, but because the parents are not taking care of them, because the parents are not taking control of their children, many of them.
So, are you saying that there's parents who should do more?
Yeah, there are parents who should do more, because the future of a child lies in the hands of the parent. It is a parent's duty in order to prepare their kids. Yeah, and then okay, academical wise, educational wise, teachers will add 30% or 40%, but this 60%, 70% should come from the parents, making sure their kids are clothed, making sure their kids are eating, making sure their kids are resting enough, they are not running around, they are not involving themselves into these nasty activities like snatching of cell phones and other things that is occurring around our town. So parents must do more.
Okay. Uh, let's talk about the issue of the police in terms of you talked about this region as high teenage pregnancy. Let me talk about the justice and our law enforcement agencies. This region records a lot of rape cases year in and year out. Do you think the culprits are learning a lesson in this region?
Well, it's a very good question. Yeah, many culprits are apprehended, sometimes, but most of the time it is colleagues from the educational, I must say teachers are the ones who are affected, especially when it comes to pregnancies, but other male colleagues, for instance, if a police impregnates a girl child, there's nothing that is done. If an army impregnates a girl child, there is nothing that happens. Or even any person apart from someone from the educational background. So that is why I think it also needs to be looked at, so that if any male that impregnates a girl child need to be dealt with in order to keep these unwanted pregnancies. Our kids are not at peace. Okay. Yes.
Looking at the weather for the northeast this week, there's plenty of sun and pleasant temperatures forecast for Nkurunkuru. Rundu also has plenty of sun with temps in the upper 20s. Kongola is somewhat warmer but also has sunny skies. And finally, Katima is sunny and hot with daytime temperatures hovering at the 30-degree mark.
The Evening Review is a daily interview-based talk show that dissects and expounds on current affairs as they occur in Namibia. The show aims at reaching Namibians of all age groups who seek better understanding of the state of current affairs in the country. This show is broadcasted on NTV, 1up2.com, and cross-shared on the following Facebook platforms: Namibian Sun and Namibia Media Holdings. The Evening Review focuses on interviews, latest news, and up-to-the-minute current events. Contact evening at synergy.com.na. Evening Review, unpacking today's pertinent issues.
That was it from me today. Thank you very much for watching and stay tuned for another episode of Regional Review, same time tomorrow. Have a productive day ahead.